Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Ooh, it's so cold in Georgia today. It's chilly. It's chilly and it's windy. But, of course, I was out there on those YouTube streets yesterday and I noticed that everybody was popping up with the video about gospel singer Donnie McClurkin. I thought, oh no. Oh no. I mean, nowadays when you see someone trending, you get a little because, right? Anything could have happened. And last year or late 2019, I'm not sure which one. I don't remember the specifics exactly, but Donnie McClurkin had a horrific car accident that left him in a real bad place physically. So I was worried about that as well, you know. But come to find out, he is going to be on, I believe it is BET or TV1. And he also did an article on Mademoiselle. And we are going to read the article. But what kind of threw me off a little bit was that a lot of the people that were on YouTube discussing Donnie McClurkin were not discussing him favorably. I actually ran across a couple of YouTubers who were actually angry with him. And I wasn't really sure why they were angry with him, why they were so upset with him. I sat in on one live just so I couldn't do it anymore, really, because it started to be, for me, kind of hurtful. You have to understand, Donnie McClurkin is one of the most prolific gospel singers, worship leaders out there. He's also a pastor. But what you're not going to do is take away from his anointing, right? He has been anointed to sing, okay? The gospel music to the people. Some of his songs that he's famous for is "What do you do when you've done all you can? Seems like it's never enough. Oh, what do you do?" Yeah, Stand. Okay. And a whole host of other songs. But Stand is one of the songs that people are more familiar with. So I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. And for the most part, he's been scandal free. For the most part. I mean, there's always been conversation about who he may be dating, if he's dating a particular female. There's been tons of females that say that they're dating him. And some of those people, I think, may be a bit mentally ill. I mean, he's one of those polarizing figures for some people, especially single females who feel like God is telling them that Donnie is their husband, right? And but like I said, most of the conversation that I'm seeing from these YouTubers is not favorable. I'm like, well, what gives? What did the guy say in the article that was so, you know, crazy? Like, what happened? So we're going to read that article, and what we're just going to talk about here in the next few minutes. I won't hold you long. I just want to get your opinion on it, ask you some questions. Hopefully you can clear some things up for me about this situation. I don't know if you've been following it, but Prior to this, we had Lil Nas X, who is, I guess, a rapper. He did Old Town Road, which just I'll be 51 this year, so um I thought Lil Nas X was like a son or something of Nas. Now Nas, I know. Okay, all I need is one mic. Nas, I know. I'm familiar with Nas. Nas is in my, in my demographic, right? Nas is one of the most prolific, not only writers but rappers ever. Like, so that's who I thought he was. And I thought Old Town Road, which I've never heard the song all the way through. I've just heard like little snippets of it. I thought that was actually a country western singer. I actually thought it was like a country western parody. Y'all remember Al Yankovic used to go and do parodies off of songs that were out there. I thought it was like a Weird Al Yankovic type situation. Like, that's what I thought. I didn't know that it was a black rapper that was doing a country rap or country song. Like, I had no idea. I'm just not familiar. Well, anyway, he dropped a song called Montero, I believe. And it was catching a lot of airtime, and it was trending because it was supposed to be anyway, he had like the devil in it, and he was supposed to be making it with the devil. You know what I mean by making it, like you know he's supposed to be coming on to the devil or sexing with the devil or something like that. Anyway, everybody was talking about it. It was exhausting. And I kind of noticed when it first came out and everybody was talking about it, there was this one school of thought, right? And then I noticed that the community, because Lil Nas X is gay. I think I remember when he first came out, it was around like Grammys or something. I think he came out as bisexual. I don't think he came out as gay. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know why I remember hearing that he came out as bisexual. And so that was controversy, and the fact that it was country music was controversy, or a country rap song was controversy. And now he's got this song, and it has Satan in it, and he is grinding and dancing and humping and simulating intercourse with Satan. And so there was another school of thought about that part going too far. Then I started seeing on Twitter and on Instagram where there were a lot of people who were in same-sex lifestyles who were kind of trying to explain it, to us slow heterosexuals, what they thought was going on, and that it was art, and that he was making a point, especially against the religious set and Christians who come against homosexuals and condemn them to hell, right? This is what other same-sex individuals were trying to explain to us. They were trying to explain this is what's happening, right? In other words, it's not that serious. Madonna had her stint with playing with, religious images, and also she had a sex book. And people came against Michael Jackson for Thriller, and it's been several things out there. Also, Lil Nas X, I think, also released a shoe that's a Nike shoe that is supposed to have a drop of holy water and a drop of blood in each shoe. And the shoe is like $1,000. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, it came out. I think someone doubled back and said that it wasn't blood in the shoe. It was holy water. And the shoe has, it's supposed to have like a lot of satanic symbols on it, that type of thing. Anyway, it was this big uproar. The gays were trying to dispel it, as art. Everybody seems like they were not going to co-sign on this whole devil imagery piece, all of that. I personally didn't get involved. I posted on my community page, something from John McReynolds that I thought was appropriate response to everybody was asking me if I was going to do a video about it. No, I'm not going to do a video about it. Like, I don't even understand it. Like, I don't even get it. Like, I didn't get it. I felt like I would have had to go back and listen to Old Town Road too. And I wasn't willing to do that. Like, I hated that song. Every time it came on, I was like, oh, heck no. It wasn't for me. And I just didn't see why I needed to get involved at all. It ain't in my wheelhouse, right? But then, of course, like I said yesterday, this whole Donnie McClurkin thing happened. I was like, let me go see what's going on with Donnie now, because I know a little bit about Donnie. But it was weird because everybody was, while they were kind of big up in Lil Nas X and was kind of celebrating him and supporting his work as art, it seemed like they were kind of, some of these same sex people were kind of condemning Donnie. And almost, like I said, the one YouTuber I watched was actually angry at Donnie McClurkin. I was like, well, what did he do? So let's read this article. It's in Madame Noir. I'm going to put a link down below, madamenoir.com. And it is entitled, Donnie McClurkin says he'll likely be alone for the rest of his life. Okay, this was on March 30th, 2021. And I will just show you guys really quickly the headline. And I will show you, there's Donnie in a beautiful blue suit. Okay. I've never heard Donnie McClurkin preach, but I have listened to just about all of his music, and I love his music. It says here, if you followed gospel singer Donnie McClurkin's life story, you might have heard him say that he struggled with his sexuality. In 2002, McClurkin wrote that because of incidents in his childhood, incidents of childhood molestation and an exposure to pornography that which he describes as traumatic, he turned homosexual. He says, according to The Advocate, McClurkin shared that through willpower and prayer, he was able to reverse the orientation. His views on homosexuality and the ability to reverse it caused some trouble for him politically. He was disinvited to perform at an event for President Obama and even spoke out against the legalization of gay marriage. But this was all like 2002, right? So this also may be why some people feel a type of way about Donnie, right? Or Mr. McClurkin. I don't mean to speak so common about him. And I just want to go ahead and say that this article was written by Veronica Wells at madamenoir.com. It says in 2016, we reported that McClurkin was in a relationship with a fellow singer, Nicole C. Mullen. At the time, there was plenty of talk that McClurkin and Mullen would be engaged, though the couple later confirmed that they were only dating. About the relationship, McClurkin said, "Honestly, the only thing in my life that is missing is marriage. The only thing that is missing in my life that can cause real family is marriage. Financially, I'm there. Spiritually, I'm almost there. Emotionally, I'm getting it together. But the only thing that's missing out of everything that I am doing locally, cross country, and globally is that aspect that makes family family. Is that wife that would make man whole. That element that brings favor to man." But in this upcoming episode of TV1's Uncensored, so that's what he's going to be on. I think it's this Sunday. TV1's Uncensored. McClurkin shared that he doesn't know how to be in a relationship with a woman. See what he had to say below. He says, "I didn't know how to have the relationship. I didn't know really what a woman wanted. I've messed up more than I've had good. My past relationships are a sprinkling of everything, men and women. I don't know how to do this. And because of that, when things get rough, I go back into my safe space, my music, and my ministry." He says, "I want to lay down next to someone that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. I really do. I miss the fact that I did not have a family unit that I could lay next to my spouse with my baby on my chest and be the quintessential dad that raises up a family that I saw in my dreams and wanted in my heart. So never having a long-term relationship and never being married, I chalk that up. I'll probably be alone for the rest of my life as far as a mate is concerned. Happiness is something that's relative. I've got joy. Joy is consistent. Happiness is based on what happens. But joy is a consistent type of assurance that everything's going to be okay." It says you can watch the clip from McClurkin's interview in the video below. Obviously, I'm not going to play that. That's going to be an automatic copyright infringement. So now, okay. Again, McClurkin's episode of Uncensored airs this Easter Sunday coming, at 10/9 Central on TV1. So you guys check that out and come back. We'll talk a little bit more about it. But what I was hearing, as I was watching a lot of people talking about Donnie McClurkin, his name, in the description bar, and I was like, why is everybody so upset with him? One, I think they feel like maybe Donnie is putting out, or Mr. McClurkin is putting out this idea that you can somehow change your sexuality. You can turn it around and, make it something that it's not. I think too, maybe there's some residual anger or some residual dislike to the fact that he has come out against the lifestyle gay marriage, and he's had some things to say about it, but this is his belief system, right? And my thing is that as strongly as you believe what you believe, and you feel like that's right, and you have the right to believe it, so does he. As a Christian, so does he. All right. It obviously had no impact because you can marry whomever you want now, as long as they're legal age and consent. You can marry whoever you want now. So obviously he didn't have any impact in that way. But what I'm seeing is sort of this trend where you're expected to co-sign. And if you can't co-sign, you are just expected to say nothing at all. Just let it be, right? And I guess that is similar to if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. But I think you can have a difference of opinion and not be homophobic. I definitely think you can have a different belief system and not be homophobic. I think that's completely possible. But what was funny to me, I'll just tell you what's funny to me, is that everybody was having an issue with the fact that he's saying he is abstinent, and how he reversed it. He said out of his own mouth in this article was through self-control and through his faith, right? So let's just go back and read that because I don't want to misquote him. He says he was able to reverse the orientation, his sexual orientation. And this was through willpower and prayer. So prayer is self-explanatory. We get that. Willpower, basically, he abstained. He abstained from sex and with men. This in particular seemed to really upset some of the individuals I was seeing out there that was talking about it. This point in particular teed them off. And it was weird. It was weird to me. It was like they felt like he was lying. They felt like one YouTuber felt like he's ruined his whole life and denied himself his whole life. He's entering into his 60s or he's in his 60s, and he has basically blown his life by making these choices, right? Well, the same can be said for nuns and some priests and some other people who've decided that they don't want to have sex, right? And it seems like it was really angering people, especially people who are in same-sex relationships. Men, honestly, all of these YouTubers that I've seen were appeared to be males to me. I'm not sure. I can't say, specifically, right? But just at a glance appeared to be males. And some I know definitely for sure males, right? But yeah, all gay men, and they seem to have an issue with the fact that he was abstinent, which I just thought was odd. I was like, so we're big up in Lil Nas X as artistic and having his own mind, taking his power back, living his life out loud, throwing religion in the face of super religious people and pseudo Christians who believe in condemnation. But here we're condemning Donnie McClurkin because he's absent. It's hilarious to me because he's abstinent and he doesn't believe in the lifestyle for himself. He doesn't believe in the lifestyle for himself. These are the things that he believed triggered him into this lifestyle. Now, a lot of people feel like you're born gay. He doesn't, Mr. McClurkin doesn't seem as though he feels that he was born gay. He feels that having been sexually traumatized and exposed to pornography is what put him in this place where he was living this lifestyle for a bit. And he says out of his own mouth he's been with both males and females. I don't know if that means sexually or if he means that he's dated both. And I will say this. Women date. Usually in heterosexual relationships, a woman is actively dating. Whether the man is interested in her or not, in her mind, y'all going out more than one time is dating, right? For the most part, from what I know, dating is a rare thing for a good portion of a gay man's life. Like there's a portion of their life where I wouldn't necessarily call it dating. I would call it, having fun. Like, you're on the apps, you're finding out who's in your vicinity, and 20 minutes later you back at the bar, you know what I mean? And then I know it's not all that way, but I'm just saying for a good portion they don't necessarily call it dating. And male's gonna do what male's gonna do, whether it's heterosexual male or gay male, still male. The little head talks to the big the big head. That's all I'm saying. The little head speaks for the big head, right? Anyway, so I don't know what he means. If he means he was just out there in the lifestyle, if he means that he had long-term mates, I'm not sure. He doesn't say here, so I don't know. But anyway, I just thought it was weird that Lil Nas X is living out loud, and that is supported no matter how graphic it is. And let me just say this. Let me just tell you why I brought this up. I just want to read like a couple of lyrics from the Lil Nas X Montero song. If you've seen any of the thumbnails out there on YouTube, out there on Twitter, you know that the thumbnails are pretty CGI graphic, right? There's Lil Nas X, who's apparently a black male. He's got like a red cast to his skin. And he's got these weird contacts in, these kind of scary contacts, like pupils that are elongated as opposed to round, and things like yellow. And then he's got this CGI devil creature who's supposed to be Satan, and he is red. And he's got horns, and he's got a physique, and I don't remember if the devil had feet or if the devil had like hooves. It was like a typical picture of what you would call a devil. You know what I mean? Like what would come to your mind as Satan. And which I thought was hilarious because everybody was like, "Oh no, he's no, he's playing with the devil." I was like, "That's not the devil." That's not the devil. Y'all know that the devil don't really have like horns and pitchfork and a tail shaped like an arrow and blood red skin and yellow eyes or black eyes. I mean, that's the image. Just like the image of Jesus has been presented to us as a white male with a beard and dusty brown hair, and he's got a sackcloth. Like, it's just hilarious to me. It's hilarious to me. It's hilarious to me. The imagery of the devil is offensive, right? But this is what I'm hearing other people say is, yo, I don't play with that devil stuff. I don't like the devil scenes and him grinding on the devil and all that. He's not grinding. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the devil. All right. That's the visual of the devil, okay? But his lyrics say, he talks a little bit about the white girl, and the white girl is another name for a particular type of narcotic. Okay. And then he also talks about Mary Jane, which is another name for a particular type of dope. Right? So he talks about, he says, I caught it bad just today. You hit me with a call to your place. Ain't been out in a while anyway. Was hoping I could catch you throwing smiles at my face. Romantic talking, ? You don't even have to try. You're cute enough to duck. You know what I mean by duck. Book. Have sexual intercourse with me tonight. Looking at the table, all I see is the Mary Jane and the white girl, but he says white baby here. You living the life, but inward you ain't living right. Okay. And then he talks about, he says, the white girl, the white baby, and drinking with your friends. So you doing this and drinking with your friends. You live in the dark, boy. I can't pretend. I'm not phased, only here to sin. If Eve ain't in your garden, you know that I can. In other words, if your woman ain't there, I can be there, right? All right, come on. Call me when you want. Call me when you need. Call me in the morning. I'll be on the way. Call me when you want. Call me when you need. Call me out by my name and your name. I'll be on the way. Like, Then the lyrics say, I want to sell what you're buying. I want to feel your arse in Hawaii. I want that jet lag from bucking and flying. Shoot a child in your mouth while I'm riding. Okay, so he's the male and he's on another male, and that is how he's able to shoot from riding on that male into that male's mouth his semen, which he calls shoot a child in your mouth while I'm riding. So my whole point is that the imagery, which is shunned, the imagery of actual Satan, whether it's CGI or a person dressed up in makeup and costume, is not the issue, because that is not Satan. The devil is in the details, right? Here's the devil. The devil's in the writing. The devil's in the lyrics. But the lyrics are being celebrated. The lyrics are considered artistic. The lyrics are considered to be creative. right? Now, some people say he's trolling. He's just trying to get a rise out of everyone. But I mean, he's gone through a lot of detail, like a great deal of trouble to troll. Like, troll can be done a lot easier than this, right? Anyway, it just goes on, and there's more talk about drugs and more talk about sex and more talk about, just other things that are that are gonna happen between these two individuals. I get whatever. I think it's people are saying that he's talking about himself. He's talking about doing some of these things to himself, and like I said, it's hilarious to me that people shun the imagery of Satan, right? But the words they consider to be art. They consider that to be art. Then if you flip it, where Pastor Donnie McClurkin is an individual who's saying this lifestyle was not for me. This was not my heart. This was not something that I wanted to continue to do. And so this is the choice that I made. I made a choice to bury my face in prayer and abstain, do willpower, right? And just not go there, period. Males, females, period. Okay? He does talk about not knowing how to have a relationship with a female. I dare say a lot of men don't know how. But I'm sure it is made more difficult if you've only courted or you've only had interactions with males in that capacity. And now to be with a female who is clear about what it is they want, you don't know what to do with that. You've also had your own emotions, your own feelings harnessed. You haven't allowed yourself to giving yourself away in this capacity. All right. It is kind of isolating for sure. There is a connection that happens between two people, whether it is a one night stand or a long-term relationship. When you connect with another individual in that type of way, you're giving and getting, you're losing and getting, you're giving something away and you're taking something in, so to speak. So here you have him who said, this wasn't for me. So this is what I did to get that in line. It wasn't something that I wanted. I don't see the problem with that. You got the one extreme to the other. But why is one celebrated and treated as artistic difference? And this is what Lil Nas believes. This is what is his choices in life. This is his career choice and career path. This is his belief system. But then you got Donnie McClurkin, who has not, from what we gather, been in a relationship, or not been. I don't know what he did in his past, but he's actively denouncing for himself getting into a physical relationship with a male, especially if that male, with a male period, let alone a male who's got a female. Or he's tried to date females, but from what I gather, he's abstaining from same sex as well. All right. He's not out there trying to break up families. He's not out there trying to break hearts. He's not out there trying to lead people on. And at the same time, he's not out there feeding what he considers to be, for himself, his own personal demons. What's the issue? What's the problem? Because he doesn't believe in your lifestyle? I mean, does he have to? Does he have to? He's only required to love. He's only required to serve. Right? He's only required to treat you with love. That's it. He doesn't have to agree with the type of drink you drink, with the type of clothes you wear, with the type of individual you associate with. He doesn't have to do that. What he has to do is treat you with love and respect. That's Bible. He has to be of service. That's Bible. He has to love you with the love of the Lord. That's Bible. That's it. That's it. He doesn't have to agree with your lifestyle. And you guys give me your opinion on it. You guys tell me what you think. I really want us to talk about it down below. I just wanted to put it all out there because it cracks me up when people see. And I'll tell you a quick story. I had a lady I grew up with. I didn't grow up with. She's considerably older than me, but I grew up in a church, and she was one of the leaders in the church, and she's also a seamstress. And my girlfriend in high school, her little sister was in high school, and the high school she was in, I think their mascot was like the Blue Devils or something like that. And they needed someone to sew the name of the team and the mascot on this band uniform, right? And so I was like, oh, I know somebody, this a lady that I went to church with, she sews, and I'll give you her information. You can go over and she, give her the business. And so they go over, and evidently she gave them what for, because she's like uber religious, and she didn't want to deal with the name devil. She didn't want to sew that name devil on that costume, and she didn't want to sew that mascot that had the devil name on that costume. She didn't want anything to do with the name devil, the image of a devil, any of that, which just goes back to the point about how people are so rooted and grounded in an image being the source is of the devil. Okay? And when it come out your mouth, it don't have a pitchfork. You know what I'm saying? Don't come out like in a red haze of smoke with a pitchfork. That's just something people put out there so you can have an image to put with the energy, right? But the words that Lil Nas X put in his, to me, that was really the devil. Though in those details, I found the devil. I'm not at all offended by this CGI devil. I mean, okay. But I'm not easily frightened in that way. What frightens me is what comes out of a person more than anything. Behaviors that people exhibit, I find to be terrifying. People who can murder their entire family, children included, and the dog, I find to be horrifying. Horrifying. And we find often that those people don't have a pitchfork. They don't have a red tail shaped like an arrow. They don't have hooves on the bottom and muscles on the top and horns on their head and eyes like a cat, yellow eyes. They don't have that. They look just like me and you. But therein the devil lies, right? Okay, here you have an individual who is professing for himself a love of Christ. And he has made a decision that, yes, has sacrificed him from having a family, perhaps. He's still a fairly young man. We all know that males are able to do things a lot longer than females are able to do it in terms of procreation. He has decided that for himself, for his own life and mental health, that this is what he's going to do. He's going to abstain, and he's going to maintain a mantle of prayer. What's so wrong about that? What's the problem? Where's the devil in those details? I'd like to know. You guys tell me. Put it down below, okay? I honestly want your opinion on this. If you need to wait until Sunday, you've seen the full interview and come back, that's also great. I also would love for you guys, and you guys normally know I don't normally ask you to share the content that I put out because, you know, I leave it up to you, but I'm asking you to please go and share this on your Twitter and your social media because I want the feedback. I want the feedback. I would love to be a part of a panel and discussion and dialogue, healthy debate. I would love to talk about it because I'm just confused. I'm just confused. I don't know if Mr. McClurkin has been actively and demonstratively speaking out against the LGBTQIA community. I don't know. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe that's the underlying anger. But from what I see, what he's done in this article, it doesn't seem that way. It seems like this is his belief. This is what he believes. And these are the things that he's done to support his belief for himself. As far as I know, he's never been in any type of actual scandal. I'm open to that conversation too. You guys tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees.